Alright, so as promised, whether you're interested or not, I'm going to do it anyway. Striking tutorial, punching tutorial to be more specific. And hell, if you want to break bricks in the future, then this is a good place to start. And I can teach you about hand conditioning and stuff. Right, so we're going to break this down. Alright, it's going to be probably 3 or 4 video series, okay? I've spent most of my life doing this stuff and learning this stuff. I hit extremely hard for someone of my stature. And a lot of that comes down to, mainly body mechanics first and foremost. But then you've got to consider things like speed, timing, distance, etc. A real proper punch isn't like that. Apart from anything else, they see it coming from a mile away. But let's try and keep these as short as possible. So today, I'll quickly explain. We break things down into threes. It tends to work that way in the human body, even if we look at, the structure of the finger, 1 joint, 2 joint, 3 joint. Okay, so we're going to use that kind of principle. We're going to start with the arm because, well, this is the kind of last bit of a punch. Really, how we punch is we hit with our whole body. All right, the fist is just and even the arm is just the delivery system of that power. So that's important to understand. And this can go for palm strikes, whatever. We're going to talk about the fist and striking with the fist, right? So first and foremost, it has to be straight, all right? People, have you ever heard someone say, I hit them so hard I broke my hand? Yeah, you just can't punch properly. Sorry, mate. So I've never broken my hand ever, and I've punched many a skull, even some other parts of bodies that aren't really meant to be punched. Practice on sandbags, punched many a hard thing over the years, and I've never broken a bone in my hand doing it, all right, just to give you an idea. So first and foremost is the alignment of the wrist and the fist, all right? That's a no. That's a yes. That's a no. That's a no. You hit someone hard with that, or that, and you're going to buckle your wrist, especially if there is certain pressure point style striking that you can do, but that's not what we're talking about today, all right? These 3 knuckles is the part of the hand that we hit with, all right? My knuckles are pretty much repaired now, but you might be able to see it's only ever those bits that get scuffed up, all right? But the only reason they get messed up is because I went a bit loco and did like an hour and a half of just basically hitting the bag and skipping. And I do not strike with gloves. I don't hit heavy bags, even the big heavy one over there. I don't do it. The only reason I wear gloves is so I don't hurt someone that I'm sparring with, okay? That's it. I've always struck bare knuckle. So that's first and foremost, right? If you want to test that out, this is probably going to be a bit longer than it should be, then you can do knuckle push-ups, right? If you do that, then switch to the top 2 knuckles, which is what a lot of people tell you to do, and just feel how less stable that is, okay? Now imagine that with force, boom, buckle, break, wrist, done. All kinds of bones in the hand broken. Right, so 1, 2, 3 joints, all right? This is how you're going to practice. You're going to extend the shoulder, extend the elbow, and then flex the wrist like this. And you're only going to do it with your arm, nothing else. Do you understand? This is one of 3 parts of the punch you're going to practice. So you're going to practice this and only this. And this is also going to help you to dial in this wrist alignment and, condition the knuckles to be able to strike properly. All right? So 1, 2, 3. And you can do it just as slow as that. You know what? It's not exciting, but, you practice it over and over. Trust me, this way. I've taught many people to strike and none of them have broken their hands, but they have broken faces, okay? So here, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Notice how my hand is relaxed. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Notice how my hand is relaxed. You'd be surprised how hard it is to just do this with your arm and your arm only. Everybody always wants to lean into it or do something, all right? But trust me, be vigilant with this and it will work out well. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Like I say, do it nice and slow so you can program it into your neuromuscular pathways. That's super important. The famous Bruce Lee quote is, I don't hit, it hits itself, which means that he's trained something so much that his brain doesn't even have to think about it anymore. It doesn't have to process this information. It just does it. You know, in a real-time fight, in a real-time self-defense situation, shall we say, it means that also your brain is free to process way more important things like what's your environment like, does he have a mate, where is he positioned, all these different things, all right? But most importantly, reading the signals of the person in front of you, all right? That's the most important thing. And if you're worried because, you know, if your brain's trying to think about, punching, instead of just being able to react, then you're kind of already screwed, all right? Not necessarily, but, you know, it doesn't help matters. So this is it. Real boring, isn't it? Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, okay? I'm not even going to worry about your lower body alignment or anything. You can stand however you want and just do this. All right, see how all three parts, components, work in unison? Shoulder, elbow, wrist. All right, and that order of play is important because it's going to start from the bottom, but we're doing it in reverse here, okay? You know, if it will come from the bottom, it will work all the way up through your body, and it'll come out through your wrist, okay? Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Shoulder, so I do it really slowly. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, all right? Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Just like that, right? And that's all you're going to do. And you can do this even really soft against a wall, really, really soft, or even against, you know, something like this. You know, there's a wooden panel here, you know, like so, yeah. Believe me, I've done lots and lots of work like that, you know, to the point where I can hit things extremely hard. Well, that wasn't extremely hard, but I can hit things extremely hard without damaging myself, because trust me, skulls are really hard, especially if you hit them in the wrong place, like near the top. All right, so shoulder, elbow, wrist. Lesson 1. All right, practice grasshopper.